Hello everyone, this is Fanny. Welcome to my channel. In today's video, I have a 6 farmhouse trays for you using mostly DollarTree items. Super quick and easy. I really hope you guys enjoy and stay to the end. If this is your first time in my channel, thank you so much for stopping by and welcome. If you like quick and easy DIYs on a budget, this is the place for you. So I would love to consider subscribe and be part of this family. So let's get started. So I'm going to start off by using the leftover foam board and also the rulers. So first I'm going to be removing the plastic on the rulers just like so. Before I sleep, hear the crickets, see them. So next I'm going to be cutting the foam board by marking down to the same size of the rulers, and then I'm going to be using the X-Acto cutter, and that really made it easy to cut the foam board. Let's hold on tight. Found what we're looking for in life. Call us crazy, but things are finally right. So when I was done with that, I went ahead and grabbed the placemat and then mark it down to the same size of the foam board and cut it. So next I'm going to be attaching the placement on the foam board, so I will be using glue stick to be able to do that. So when I was done with that, I went ahead and just put it on the side for a little bit, and now I'm going to be working with the rulers. I'm going to give it then a really good coat of white chalk paint, just like so. And then I'm going to be using this little piece of wood, I don't know exactly the name for those, but look like pallet to me, and pull it apart. We know what we have, let's hold on tight. Found what we're looking for. And I ended up with something like that. Then I'm going to give it a really good coat of white paint as well. And I also going to be doing the same thing with the wood cubes from DollarTree. Now my favorite part, that is put all the pieces together to create a gorgeous tray. So I'm going to be leaving the design of the ruler out just to give it more details to the tray, and using hot glue. Side by side and through. No limit to what we can do. Oh, we know what we have, let's hold on tight. Found what we're looking for in life. Call us crazy, but things are finally right. With you and I, the future is bright. And look how beautiful this tray looks already, and we haven't done yet. Now with the other pieces, I'm going to be creating one large piece just like so by gluing it together. And then I'm going to be cover those seams by using twine, and nobody will know that that was two pieces. So next I also use a little bit of lighter just to burn the twine, just to give it that really nice color. So next I'm going to be placing those large pieces on top of the one of the rollers. Now, and for this process, you can also use wood glue. And look how beautiful this tray looks already. Now I'm going to leave it on the side just for a little bit, and I'm going to be using my last pieces, and I'm going to be creating two little handles by gluing two little cubes in each side, just like so, and there you have it, a little handle. Call us crazy, but things are finally right. So next, I'm going to be attach them by using hot glue, but like I mentioned it before, you can also use wood glue. And at this point, I think this project looks absolutely beautiful, but I also like to give a really nice finished look to the project. So I want to cover the seams and cover the hot glue by using clear glue and attaching just a little piece of twine just to give it that really nice rustic look, but at the same time cover the imperfections. And for the final touch, I decided to cover the holes by using thumbtacks. I have showed this process before on other tray, and I just love the way it looks. I think it looks really high end and really give that nice clean look to the projects. So that is it for this one. I think it came out absolutely beautiful. I personally love trays in general, so I think this one is one of my favorites so far. So but I always want to know what you guys think. Please let me know in the comments down below. So I'm going to be using mostly DollarTree items except the paint. So here are the materials, and let's get creative. I'm going to start off by removing the plastic of the rollers and also remove the plastic that come on top, just like so. So next I'm going to be making some arrangements to see how I'm going to be creating my little tray. As you can see, those little wooden home side has like a little stand on it, so I'm going to be placing the rulers on top, as you can see. But I also going to be using two dowels, and there are different sizes to the rulers, so I'm going to be cutting the hole. To be able to do that, I'm going to be just tape it, mark it down, and then use the miter box, as you can see. And voila, there you have it. Next, I went ahead, remove the masking tape, and also sand the edges. So now we have all the pieces together just to create a little tray, and this is the fun part. What I'm going to be doing here is just lining the pieces, and then just to make sure that everything is even, so I'm using the square just to, like I say, make sure everything is even, and then just put all the pieces together or attach the pieces by using wood glue and hot glue at the same time, as you can see. So all I did was add the wood glue first, and then on top the hot glue. I like to do this way because you don't have to wait until the wood glue gets dry. So this is quick, but you know that at the end the project is going to be sturdy. So that's how it looks like when I add all the rollers. Now I'm going to be adding the skewers. So as you can see, I'm going to be just gluing them in between the letters, just like so. So after I was done with the gluing part, that's how the little trace looks like. Absolutely beautiful already. So now I'm going to be using one of my favorites, chalk paint by Rust-Oleum, and give a really good coat on it. At this point you can just leave it like that and looks absolutely beautiful, but of course I'm going to be just dry brushes a little bit just to give you some distressing weather look, and I think it came out absolutely beautiful. And for the final touch, I'm going to be using some thumbtacks on the edges just to give it that really nice rustic but a modern look at the same time. And that is it for this DIY. Bags that I got on Woodville while ago, and I paid, I think was like 50 cents. So I removed one of the pieces inside, sand it a little bit, and then I'm going to be using the white acrylic paint and give you a really good coat on it, only inside for right now, just like so. So once the paint was dry, that's how it looks like, and now I'm going to put it back the lid just like so, and I'm going to be using those cute gems from DollarTree. There are stickers, so I'm going to be adding all around the edges just like so, and then also outside, only on the bottom. So next I went ahead and paint the entire box with the acrylic paint. I give it 2 coats, and that's how it looks like. So after the paint was dry, so I put it back the lid and then flip it over. So we need to create a little feet, so I'm going to be using those plastic containers from DollarTree. Come in the packet with 6, but I'm going to be using only 4, of course. So remove the lid just like so, and then I'm going to be painting in white. So we're going to be using the empty wax, but at first we're going to be attaching all the little feet on it, just like so. Look beautiful already. So now I'm going to be using the empty wax, like I already said, I think many times, the little brush, and just give it that really nice rustic look, the stretch it here and there. So I also going to be playing around with the leftover white paint on the brush, just because sometimes I go so hard with the brush and I did not like it, so I always go back and fix that. And that's how it looks like. I think at this point looks beautiful, and you can just leave it like that. But I want to my bags match with my first DIY, so I'm basically going to use the same stencils and still also some words and the little feathers on it. Just like so, and basically that is it for this DIY. After all I did was just kind of clean the mess with the white paint, and also distress a little bit the letters, just like so. So I think this project came out absolutely beautiful. I'm going to be using it on my living room to organize my remote control because for some reason I never find them. Mostly DollarTree items except the wooden beads that I purchased on Amazon a while ago. I will leave the link on my description box below. Also the chalk paint. So I'm going to start off by removing the label on the tray, and then I'm going to be giving really good coat with the chalk paint, only the outside part. Absolutely beautiful. As you can see, the little tray has some details on it, so I'm going to be using a little bit of antique wax to be able to bring back those details with really light dry brushes, and you will see how beautiful those turned out, just like so. I absolutely love the details on this tray. I'm going to leave it on the side for a few minutes, and I'm going to be working with the wooden beads and the skewers. So as you can see, I'm going to be adding a little bit of hot glue at the beginning just to be able to keep in place the beads and keep streaming the entire skewer. So next I'm going to be staining them using the antique wax. As you can see, after I apply the antique wax with the brush, I always go ahead and remove the excess with the wet paper towel, and then you ended up with something like that. I really love this color. I think it looks so rustic, or well, I don't know, I just love it. So next I went ahead and attached it on the bottle to the tray just like so. And I also did like a little handle, so I trimmed only 4 beads separate, and then I'm going to be placing it on top just like so. And basically that is it for this first DIY. I really love the way this little tray came out. I'm going to start off by removing the twine on the board. Next, trace the frame on the board with a pencil. Remove the frame and then use the box cutter and also a square to cut the board. This step I have shown many times on different DIYs, so all I do is trace a couple times the lines with the box cutter, bend it a little bit, and voila. Then use some paper and smooth it out the edges, just like so. Now we're going to leave the board on the side for a little bit and remove everything from one of the picture frames, as you can see. Next, I'm going to be attaching the frame on the board using super glue and hot glue together, but you can also use E6000 or any other kind of glue. Just like so. I also want to mention that you can use foam board or even the back of the frame as a bottom of the tray. I'm using the board only because I want the tray really sturdy, so that is optional. Remember, this is only an idea, but you can use anything you want or anything you have in hand. So next I went ahead and started gluing the wooden beads on top of the frame until finish the entire frame. Just like so. Next, I'm going to be using the other frame and removing everything as well. Next, I'm going to be attaching the frame on top of the beads using the hot glue and the super glue. Just like so. Beautiful already. Now we need to add some feet, so flip it over and attach 4 beads in each corner, just like so. Next, I went ahead and with the white acrylic paint, I give it 2 coats. Just like so, let it dry, and then I'm going to be using the wax and in color antique and a little brush and kind of distressing, no, messing a lot the tray, and then I'm going to use some white paint on top. So don't worry about the way it looks right now. They kind of look messy but that's okay. So if you notice, I didn't really touch so much on the center, so it just light brushes, just like so. Say I'm going to be just giving few brushes with the leftover white paint on top, and look how beautiful this dress look. I don't know, I think it looks absolutely beautiful. So next I'm going to be use the decal with the word thankful, place it on the center, and I thought something else is missing because I thought it's kind of plain, so I went ahead and grabbed the leaf and draw like half circles on it, and then handwriting a leaf, just like so. Next I'm going to be using the black Sharpie and then filling the inside with a small brush and black acrylic paint. And that is it for me. I think this farmhouse tray came out absolutely beautiful, but I want to know what you guys think.